Hello everyone. I thought I'll make a brief video where I explain you how your SGA practice session will look like. So I have created this document. This document will be available to you on Canvas, and I'll go through all the little bits and pieces. So I'll start over here now. So with your SGA practice session, yes, this is your first time where you are learning how to undertake the physical examination component of your SGA form. So just helping you reflect over here. If you look at your SGA form, this is how it looks like. Page one of the form, which is called as the medical assessment. You have learned how to do this in the workshop. You have a very important video created by Shelley on how to complete the page one of the SGA assessment form. So this you have learned in the classroom and via Shelley's video on Canvas. So in the classroom, meaning in the workshop, week 1 and 2 has been our focus on SGA, completing page one of the form. And just to remind you, where on Canvas will you find information on how to complete this form? If you go to your workshop and if you go to your week one workshop pre-reading SGA, if you click on this, this is this is what opens week one workshop pre-reading SGA. And this is what the form looks like, the PDF document that I just showed you. This is a very important video. So this teaches you how to complete the page one of the SGA form, which is called as a medical assessment. Again, revising, we have done this in the workshop, and this is giving you further details and clarification. So please do look at this PowerPoint slide, and it has Shelley's voice recorded on each of the slide. All right. So that is where you learn how to do the page one medical assessment of the SGA form. So this SGA practice session is to help you learn how do you complete the page two of the SGA assessment form, okay, which is the physical assessment or physical examination. So basically what you will be learning in the workshop, it's in the SGA practice session, is how to complete this page, all right, of the SGA form. So just again giving you a heads up that before you come for your week two SGA practice session, you definitely need to go through these pre-readings again. They'll be very helpful to you. So this is a video which is created by the Queensland Health, Queensland government, and they teach you how to complete the page two of the SGA assessment form, the physical examination. All right. And if you are time poor, etc., start watching the video from X number of minutes. Okay, so this covers the physical examination or physical assessment. So you'll be watching this video, getting a bit of an idea as to how do you do the physical assessment. And then you come to the SGA practice session and you learn actually how to do the physical assessment by yourself in practice with SPs. Okay, SPs are simulated patients, meaning they are actors who act like patients, and they come and you do the physical examination on them. All right, so now do you understand the purpose of the workshop where you are learning how to do the page two of the SGA form, physical examination? Okay, so why is this useful? This is a very, very important skill as a dietitian. You will be doing a lot of SGAs in your year three as part of your rack of placements. And rack of placements, so basically your placements as a dietitian have started from year three. You are having some amount of rack of in trimester one as part of MNT, and then you have more rack of placements and other placements in trimester two, okay, as part of MNT2, applied dietetics, things like that. Okay, so basically you will be doing a lot of SGAs on real life people in your placements, which is why you need to learn this first before you go into the real world setting and you start doing SGAs. So very important skill as a dietitian, which is why we are making you learn this skill. Okay, so you will be using this skill immediately. in year three. Okay, so it's not like you need the skill in trimester two or in year four. No, you, as soon as your arc of placement starts, you need the skill. Okay, so that is where you will first practice your skill in real life setting, which is why we are teaching you right now as part of this practice session. So I told you what you need to review before you come to your practice session. Look at that online module, pre-reading, week 1 SGA. Look at Shelley's PowerPoint slides. Look at the SGA Queensland government video. All right. Go through the notes on how we discussed about completing SGA page 1 in the workshop, because all of these skills you will be applying on this day when you come for the SGA practice session. Now, with your SGA practice session, you are either allocated to the morning batch or the afternoon batch, details of which will be provided in this roster document of yours, which is available on Canvas. All right, so I'll tell you exactly where it is available. So when you look at this, we went through this. Okay, so this is a pre-reading. Please read all of this. This will give you a much better idea. You will be at a much better, you'll feel more confident when you come for your SGA practice session. Okay, so we are done with this pre-reading. I'll close this. Now, when you go to your Canvas site, we spoke about this. Okay, the pre-reading over here. So I'll just minimize this. Now, when you go to simulations, this is the SGA simulation. SGA simulation is the SGA practice session. Why do I call it a simulation? Because you have simulated patients, meaning you have these actors who will come on that day. They will act as patients in this simulated environment, and you will be practicing SGA on them. Okay, so this is the SGA simulation. When you click on this page opens. This is the video that I'm currently recording. All right. So that is available for you on this page. And then I'm reminding you again that look at the pre-reading, which we spoke about before you come for the workshop. And this gives you your detailed student roster. Okay. This has your names, which session are you allocated in, morning, afternoon, etc. This has the names of the instructors who will be there to teach you about the SGA session as well. Okay. So how is this document different from this document? So over here, guys, if you see, I have just said student one, student two, like that. But in the document on Canvas, you actually have your names over here. Okay. Why have I done this a little bit differently and I have not put in student name? Because there are certain set of instructions which are going to be universal across the years, because now I have nailed this practice session really well. So there are certain fundamentals which are going to be solid, and which is why this video is recorded for these basic fundamental instructions. The only thing which is unique is your names, which will change through coming years, the number of students and names who are in the morning batch, who are in the afternoon batch, like that, and the instructors. All right, so this is IN as instructors. So over here, I have said that instructors, for instance, okay, these instructors will change from year to year. All right, so that's why I have called them as instructors. These instructors you have already met. They are teachers at Griffith University, just like me. For example, we have Roseanne, our academic lead. She's part of the SGA as well. So you will know who the instructors are in the personalized document which is there on Canvas. Okay, so if you look at this document, this is the same document which I'm showing you, but it has uniquely your names and it has the instructor names. Okay, so you have a clear idea as to where you are, morning batch, afternoon batch, etc. Who are the instructors for this SGA session? So you have those personal identified information in this document, and everything else remains the same. Okay, so before I go on to this Word document, all right, I'll just share with you that. So what are you doing that day? What is unique? What is the new thing that you are learning? Is the physical examination, page 2 of the SGA form. All right. And you will be doing SGAs on each other, on simulated patients, etc. You are to wear comfortable clothes where you can roll your sleeves or wear sleeveless So you have access to the arms. So when you are practicing on each other, you have access to, your arms, and you need your legs at least in your knees. Okay. So, yes, just little bit above your knees. So gym gear is completely fine. On that day, you don't need to wear your NND uniforms. Wear gym gear. So you have access to arms. You have access to legs, at least till your knees. Okay. And when I say gym gear, please be mindful that um, gym gear come with various levels of modesty. So be modest, but definitely wear your gym gear. That's completely fine. But you know what I mean when it comes to modesty gym gears. There are various types of gym gears. So yeah, come looking as a student who's in gym gear, who's here to learn. All right. Okay, so we have, why do I say this particularly is because some SPs in previous years have been very uncomfortable with how students have come in not so appropriate gym gears. So there are various types of gym gears. So you know how to make this decision. All right. You are here to train yourself as a health professional. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is just letting you know that you will need access to, your face, your, say, your scapular region, arms and knees, like that. Okay. All right. This is a instruction that I've added in a recent instruction because I was surprised that I had to put this as an instruction. But last year I had SPs, poor SPs. So guys, these SPs that you have simulated patients, I'll call them SPs. So these SPs, a couple of these SPs, they came up to me and they said that, please, can you request your students from hopefully from next year, like especially girls, to please cut their nails. They come with yay long nails, and then you have to actually feel the subcutaneous fat, and you are like, means gently pinching or feeling the fat. And this turns into a pinch, a very painful pinch, which leaves nail marks when the students don't cut their nails. So, yes, guys, please. As I said, you're training as a health professional. You have chosen to become a dietitian. Okay, it's a choice that you have made. So, as a health professionals, you need to cut your nails and keep them nice and clean and trimmed. Okay, so please make sure your nails are cut so that you are not consciously trying to pinch the SP, but you are learning. This is a skill you're learning for the first time. You're not you're not proficient in this skill. So please cut your nails. Okay. All right. So where is this practice session going to happen? We have two rooms booked. We have the kitchen lab, which is the food science kitchen lab. Those who have taken food science with me, you know what I'm talking about, our kitchen lab. All right. And then you have the room opposite to the kitchen lab. When you were in year two, when you were in food science, you used to see the year three students over there. So that's the room. Okay. So we have both of these room booked. The kitchen lab and the room opposite to the kitchen lab is called as the Nutrition Education and Counseling Room, NEC. Okay. So we have both of these room booked. In the kitchen lab, you will be doing your paperwork. Meaning, what is the paperwork that you will be doing? Um, on that day, you will have access to a case study. And this case study is very similar to the workshop week 1 and 2 malnutrition case study that we have done. I have made this example case study a separate case study for you, which you will be completing in the kitchen lab. Why? So that this is your practice case study for your assignment 1. Okay. So you did a case study in the workshop with me on malnutrition and gerontology in week 1 and 2. You have a separate case study which is on malnutrition and gerontology as your practice case study, which you will be completing during this time. Okay, so you will be doing the ADIME, ADIME data collection form, all of that in this kitchen lab. So in your kitchen lab, you will have your laptops, your clinical folders, your handbook, calculators, whatever you need, pen, paper, progress note, all of that. All of that is in the kitchen lab. Okay, so you can spread out comfortably in the kitchen lab, do all this paperwork over there. In the kitchen lab, you will have enough information in the case study to complete the page 1 of the SGA form medical assessment. Just same as your workshop. In your workshop, you had a PDF document case study and you could complete the medical assessment in workshop case study 1. Similar to that, in this case study which I give you, you will be able to complete the medical assessment page 1 of the SGA form from the case study PDF document. Okay. So you will be doing all of that in the kitchen lab. What happens in the NEC room? In the NEC room is where you have these SPs. That is where you have these instructors. That is where you learn how to do page 2 of the SGA form in practice. All right. And that is where you have your SGA physical examination practice sessions happening. Okay. So that's how it is divided. So when you come to the NEC room, you do not bring your laptops, you do not bring your clinical handbook, your clinical folders, calculators. No, you keep all of that in the kitchen lab. You just need to bring these two documents, the SGA form, okay, the page 1 and 2 SGA form, that is it. And then you have an SSR's template, meaning the instructors will give you written feedback. This you did well, this you need more practice on, stuff like that. So that is a template that I have made. You just print this out and you bring these two pieces of paper with you and a pen. Okay. So that is all that you need to bring in the NEC room. So in the NEC room, don't walk up with all of your yeah, weapons. All these things stay in the kitchen lab. Okay. These are the only two forms you need with a pen. That's it. Okay. So when I say that in the kitchen lab, you will be having this second case study as a practice, which is going to help you practice and prepare for assignment 1. So where do you find this case study? So when you go under assignments, okay, when you click in assignments, when you click in assignments, this is how it opens. I have already published it, as you can see. Assignment 1, practice slash SGA sim. Okay, so this is a case study which we will be using for the SGA simulation practice session. And this is a case study which will help you prepare for your assignment 1 as well. Okay, so when you click on this, this is what opens. There is this PDF document. This is how the PDF document looks like, very similar to the case study that we did in the workshop week 1 and 2. You have to practice this case study. You have to complete the SGA page 1 using this document. You have to complete your ADIME data collection form template using this document. Okay. So the ADIME data collection form, yes, bring a printout of that. Or else if you want to do everything electronically, it is your choice. But remember, you need to write a handwritten progress note in your assignment 1, which is why it's good for you to practice this progress note handwritten when you're practicing this example case study. Okay. So you can have this case study open on your laptop like this, and you can be doing your progress note. You can be writing your ADIME data collection form by hand. It's completely your choice. Or if you want to do everything electronically and then practice this later at home, that's your choice. But you're not wasting time in the kitchen lab. Last year, I had students sincerely do this in the kitchen lab. Quietly, they were practicing their stuff. And when I look at the average marks, they did really well. It's because they really took it seriously. All right. So, as I said, I'm here to give you all the help, all the resources. It is for you to maximize them. Okay. So, I'm here to deliver as much as possible. It is for you to absorb. Okay. So, make use of this opportunity. Not every time you get practice case studies, etc. I have taken a lot of effort in making a practice case study, having your week 1 workshop and week 2 workshop in such a way that you know that these are the type of case studies I'm going to face in my assignment 1. These are preparatory grounds for you to prepare you for an assignment 1. Okay. So I cannot emphasize more the importance of practicing. All right. Okay, so this is where you find that case study. So we went through all of this. Okay, so now I'll just take this on the other side and let's go through this form. So yes, guys, this is what I'm saying over here that, yep, in the kitchen lab, you will be doing the medical history, and you will be doing the ADIME data collection form and progress note. And in the NEC room, you will be learning how to do the physical assessment with the instructors. Okay? All right. So now, and guys, one heads up that if you're not able to complete this practice case study, the entire ADIME data collection form, the progress note during your time in the kitchen lab, it is okay. Just go home and do this practice because 90% of the class, or maybe all of you, are being exposed to this content for the very first time. And the only way to master yourself is practice. So, if you're not able to complete this entire thing, it is okay. Go home, time yourself, and then try to complete this in the exam time period, which is in 2 hours. I have to complete this progress note. I have to complete the ADIME data collection bits of this. So do it like that. So it's okay for you not to complete the written part, the kitchen lab part completely during your SGA practice session. Why? Because I understand that you are focusing more on that day to develop the skills for the SGA physical examination form 2. All right. So I know that your attention is over here. You want to develop the physical skills of how to do SGA, which is why the medical assessment part of it and the progress note is taking a little bit of a backseat, and that's completely normal. So it's okay to not complete the entire thing in the kitchen lab. Please go home and do a sincere practice. Um, this will help you get ready for your assignment one. Okay. All right. Now we go through how the day will look. Okay, so you will have two instructors, instructor one and two. They will first help you understand, they will teach you how do you do SGA. This is a SGA demonstration. You don't have to do anything. You have to stand there, you have to watch. You can take little bit of points or tips or um, hints, something which, whatever helps you. But this is a quiet demonstration session. And then, of course, the instructors are very kind enough. They will say, do you have any questions, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So this is where you are observing a demonstration. The instructor is going to do the SGA on the SP. Okay, so you have SP1 and 2, and these are two different people. Okay, your SPs are generally going to be geriatric individuals. Okay, somebody who's say 65 75 plus, or say at least say around that 70, um, are elder elderly individuals who are say 65 plus. Okay, so generally geriatric individuals, I encourage and I try to bring in both male and female because male and female body compositions are quite different. So that just gives you a feel of how to study this on both the sexes, male and female. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. You have SP1, SP2. You have two instructors over here. You will have, say, 7 to 8 students, depending upon the class number and size. Okay, I divide them into two groups. Then you have 7 students over here, 7 students over here, for example, and they are looking at the demonstrations and they are learning how to do SGA. Okay. So, for example, if I have a class of 30, I have 15 students come in the morning batch and I have the other 15 students come in the afternoon batch. Okay. That is how we have the morning and the afternoon session. You are allocated to only one session, which is either the morning or the afternoon session. Okay. So this is how it's divided. All right. So morning, for example, 9 to 9:30, 15 students broken into two groups, 7 students with SP1, 8 students with SP2, something like that. You have two instructors teaching you, look at the demonstrations, understand, learn, absorb. All right. Everything on this day is formative. Okay. This is not an exam. This is not a test. You're not getting a marks for it. Nothing is going on your transcript. You're learning real life skills that you have to use on placement. You have to do in the real life setting. Okay, which is why lot of battles have been fought to make this into a formative session so that your entire 100% attention is to learn a real life skill which you're going to use in the real life setting. Okay, so no pressure of exams or assignment. Learn it well, because as soon as rack up starts, that is going to be your first exposure where you're going to do this SGA on real life patients. Okay, so don't worry about exams, assignments. Genuinely learn it for the joy of learning, because this is one of your critical skills as a clinical dietitian. All right. Okay. So, yep, we have the SGA demonstrations happen. Afternoon batch, same thing, half an hour. The first half an hour allocated for you to observe the demonstration. This happens in the NEC room. Okay. Everything related to SPs. Your SPs will never come in the kitchen lab. They are in the NEC room. Instructors will never come in the kitchen lab. They are in the NEC room. I'll be the one juggling both sides, all of that. Why? Because I'm the facilitator for that day, organizing, coordinating, course convener stuff. Okay. So, yep. So you won't be learning SGA from me directly, because I have to manage the ship. But I have lovely instructors who will be teaching you and guiding you. Okay. So yes, we have this happening, demonstrations. Then what happens? You can read this in your own time. I'll just explain you. Okay, so now what is happening is you have this sort of a roster. Okay, so for example, at 9:30, see on the top over here, 9:30 we finish the demonstration. Okay, so now 9:30 we finish the demonstration, and now we start having individual practice sessions with the SP under the instructor's guidance. Okay, so at 9:30, and these are 10 batch. All right, so you have SP1, SP2, all right, and you have SP3, SP4. I have four SPs who are going to be with four individual instructors. Okay, they are in four separate rooms in the NEC rooms. Okay, so I'll be sending you in one of the rooms. Student 1 goes in this room, student 2 goes in this room. 10 minutes they are over there. They are relearning. Again, they are learning under the instructor's guidance on how to do the SGA. You have a one-on-one session, more individualized, more personal questions you can ask, something which is only in your head and may not be in some other student's head. Okay, so this is a more one-on-one tutoring, learning, individual session. Okay, this happens for 10 minutes. Okay, then I come, I knock at your door, and I say that student 1, student 2, time's up, 10 minutes up. Now let's go into the other rooms. In the other two rooms, you have SP3, SP4. Again, they are with different instructors. Okay, instructor 3 and instructor 4. So the same students go into these other two rooms. Here, the instructor will not tell you how to do the SGA. You had a demonstration, you had one-to-one tutoring session. Okay, now show the instructor how you can do the SGA. And after you do the SGA, this is very informal. So over here, then the instructor will provide you feedback that, oh, you did this really well. Oh, by the way, this what you did. This is how you should have done it. So then you will be getting feedback. But over here, it's more of a discussion, dialogue, but over here, you will first be actually doing it, and then the feedback session will happen. Okay. All right. So then the on Canvas, I showed you that feedback form. I'll just show that to you again. So over here, if you see this SSR's template, this one, which you will print out. This template will be completed by the instructor who is in this two room. Instructor 3 and instructor 4 will complete that template of yours and tell you, hey, you did this really well. But the biceps, you were holding it incorrectly, or etc. So this kind of feedback will be given to you on that assessor form. Please have sufficient printouts. Bring two forms of SGA, bring two for SSR forms. If your friend has forgotten, then you can share with her, etc. So like just be prepared, okay? I don't have photocopies of all of this, so I won't have it on that day. please make sure you have done your printouts, or else um, pray that your friend has extra copies and she can share it with you. Okay, so please come prepared, because there is so much to manage on that day for me, guys, that it's very difficult when I have students coming up and saying that, oh, by the way, I forgot to print out. Do you have a printout? No, I don't. Okay, I don't have a printout because I have many, many little pieces to manage. As you can see, it's a big day, and someone needs to be the coordinator, and that is, my role at that day. Okay, so please bring your own printouts. All right, or coordinate with your friends, bring couple of copies and help out each other. That's fantastic. All right. So this is what happens. And then this is again 10 minutes. All right. So you are doing this, say, formative feedback session over here. And this is again for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I again knock on the door and I say that, hey, time's up. So now you go to the kitchen lab. This is lab. All right. So now go to the kitchen lab and start doing your, say, SGA page one medical assessment. Start working on your ADIME data collection form. You already have the case study on Canvas. Start working in your own time. All right. Will you have answers to the case study which is there on Canvas, this practice case study? Yes, you will. I will release those answers for the ADIME data collection form and the first page medical assessment form after your workshop. Okay, so after this session, I'll release it. So obviously you won't have the answer during this, but by the end of the day or next day, I'll release the answers. Okay, so you will have the answer copy so you can compare and see how you went. All right. It's okay if you don't complete the ADIME data collection form progress note during this time over here, but please go home and have a structured, um, proper time allocated for completing this case study. Trust me, this will put you in a much better position for your assignment one. Okay. So, which is why I have written that this is the time available for, SGA, medical assessment, ADIME, all of that. Okay. So this is what happens with student one and student two. All right. During this time, okay, this time, which is a formative assessment, where the assessor gives you feedback. If the assessor feels that the student needs little bit more practice on, like, the SP, on that form, she will let me know. I'll take that form. After your this practice session, the instructor will give me that assessment form, and I'll see, okay, student number 7 and student number 14 needs more practice. You will have additional practice time after everybody is done over here. Okay, so this SP, say 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 11:10 onwards, like roughly the last hour of your 3 hours practice session, the last hour is allocated and devoted towards extra practice. This is again informal, one-on-one, the instructor helping you understand and refine your skills better. So this is not done for every student, but for students where the instructor feels they will benefit from the extra practice. Okay, so that is what is happening over here. All right. So now, guys, over here you can see there are 4 instructors. Instructor 1, instructor 2 in room 1 and 2. Then you have instructor 3, instructor 4 in room 3 and 4. And you know exactly what is going on in this columns now. And you also know what is going on over here, which is you going to the kitchen lab and you doing your practice. Okay. So what is happening over here? Okay, in these things. So what is happening over here is that I have not 4 SPs, I have a 5th SP as well. 5th SP is the self-practice SP. Okay. Sometimes we are lucky and we get the 5th SP. That is where you don't have to practice on yourself, but you have this 5th SP on whom you can practice. Okay, the SP does not come with the instructor. The SP is sitting in the center of the room, in the NEC room, and you can approach him. You can do practice. You and your friend can go and you can do practice. How will you know if your answers are correct or not? I will keep an answer sheet besides that 5th SP. And then you may have said, oh, this looks like SGAB, this looks like SGA, SGAC. And then you can see the page number 2, form 2, which is besides this fifth SP, and you can compare your answers to the answer sheet. Okay. So that's why I call this a self-practice slash SP self-practice session. If you have a SP, great. You do that on the SP. You have the answer sheet over there and you can check your answers. And if university is not able to secure a fifth SP, that is when the students practice on each other as a self-practice session. Okay. But nothing is stopping you from practicing with your friend. Absolutely nothing is stopping you from that. But I just try to make a fifth SP available so that you have a answer sheet and you have, means a separate person to practice on who is more fitting the framework, which is a geriatric individual, things like that. Okay. This fifth SP could be anybody, male, female, like that. For these four SPs 1, 2, 3, 4, I try my best to have two males and two females, but real life, it just depends. Okay. But this is ideal world. I try to have males and females balanced ratio. So you have practice on that. A lot of time I encourage students in the class that generally you have, sorry, generally you have males. The males in our cohort are generally, a smaller cohort. And I tell the, say, ladies in our class that go and practice with the male students so that you get a better feel of body composition, etc. Things like that. For example, clavicle bone, it is so apparent in females most of the time, but it is not so apparent in male. And only because clavicle bone, for example, for me also, it is so apparent over here, doesn't mean that I'm having malnutrition. Okay. That is what it helps you to see that, okay, because the bone is apparent doesn't just automatically indicate malnutrition. Let me see, like, the tone, structure, etc., stuff like that. All right. So basically, that is how it is different. So this is what I do. So yes, guys, you will see that the students who are in the early part of the session, you have less time in the beginning to practice with the fifth SP. You are going directly into this individual tutoring rooms and then into, the formative practice sessions, things like that. And students who are, but you guys will have enough time to practice on the fifth SP informally by yourself in the later half of the day. Okay. And students who are over here, who are in the later half, you have more time to practice, with the individual SP sessions, things like that. And you may have, say, limited time at the later half of the day to practice with the fifth SP. It just is time, but everybody gets equal amount of time and opportunity. So it's not that, oh, I never got to practice with the fifth SP. That's not going to happen. I'm managing the day. I'll make sure everybody has enough practice. Okay. So yes, leave that up to me. And I'll make sure that everything is equal and all of you have enough practice sessions. Okay. I have never had any of the year where a student felt that they didn't have enough practice. They get so tired of it. They're like, oh my God, we had enough practice. And I still push them to practice because, hey, do as much as possible. Because when you go to real life RACF, things will be like, very different. These are not simulated patients anymore. They are real patients. And which is why it's good to maximize your learning in this 3 hours that you are there with me and the other instructors. Okay. So guys, this is how your day looks. Here you have student 1 to 1, 2, 3, like that. But in your roster, which is there on Canvas, you have your names. So see whether you are in the morning session, afternoon session. This is released, this information is released to you very, very early on in the trimester. So make sure you are available for this session. Guys, you cannot do RACAF or your placement successfully if you're not available for this session. This is where you're learning this clinical skill. Okay. Very important for you to attend this session. Attendance obviously is mandatory. You can't just look at videos and learn how to do this. You will not get this golden opportunity later on, which is to have these actors who are not going to complain, who are going to be nice and kind and sweet to you, And you can do this n number of practice sessions with these simulated actors, geriatric actors, and be prepared for real life. Okay, so yes, attendance is compulsory because you cannot become a dietitian without knowing how to do SGA. This is one of our basic fundamental skills. Okay, so yep, as I said, you know what this is. After everybody's finished, after the last student is done over here, then we have all of these actors again, one, two, three, four, these four actors. Now they are free. All the students are done with the about tutoring session and the formative sessions. Now they are all free. They are with the instructors. The list of students who need extra practice, they will go to them. They'll have these extra practice. And then if we have extra time, I'll be calling on you and making you do these extra practice sessions. If my SP5 is just sitting over there scrolling on the phone, I'll be like, hey, come on, practice on the SP5. Although you don't, require extra practice over here with the instructor, you would benefit from doing that extra practice with SP5. Okay. So trust me, I will manage this very well. We did this. I have done this now, from the past couple of years, and it's running smoothly. And the students see high value in this because they are not only learning a new skill, they're also preparing themselves for assignment one. So this is a day which is well worth your time and your effort. Okay. So make sure you are available. Guys, now the same thing is happening in the afternoon session. Okay, so there is nothing is different. I put this in green just to let you know that, okay, from this time onwards, you have these four SPs who are free with the instructors, and you will be called out to go in these individual rooms for extra practice. And those who do not need this instructor supported practice, I'll be calling you out to practice with the fifth SP if I see him free. All right. And anytime you're always free to practice on your friends in the kitchen lab. Okay. So you can do that anytime you want. All right. Okay. So this is how your day looks, guys. Um, I'll just see if I have anything else which I've forgotten to share with you. So I already told you this is your practice case study. You will have access to this on Canvas site under assignments. Okay. I'll put the answers over here after the thing is done. Okay. After your that day is done, practice session is done, I'll put the answers over here. And yeah, this is where the practice case study is. And this is, yeah, the pre-reading. Please go through. No, this is not the pre-reading. This is where you will find this video over here. This is your individualized roster with your names in it. So please check it out. Okay, and this is, yeah, this is the pre-reading. So please read this, refresh before you come for your SGA session. So yes, guys, that's it from my end. I've covered all the important information over here. So now I'll stop recording and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.